All right, we are on Keritot, Perik Aleph, Mishnah Bet. Second Mishnah of the first chapter of Masechet Keritot. The Mishnah says, Al elu chayavim al zdonam karet v'ashigagam chatat. Al elu refers to the last Mishnah. First Mishnah, where we talk about 36 isurim, that if you committed them on purpose, zadon means on purpose, intentionally, you're chayav karet. You get karet, spiritual excommunication, whatever that means. It's a big machloket what it means. Shigagam chatat, and if you do these things by accident, you have to bring a korban chatat. V'al lo hoda shelahem asham talui, and if you don't know, i.e., you're in doubt whether you did it or not, you have to bring an asham talui. So all these things on purpose, correct. And that's, by the way, if there's no edim or hatra'ah. Someone emailed me and asked me a question yesterday. For example, bo'el nida, someone who has sexual relations with a nida, is chayav malkot. The Rambam says he gets malkot. So if you do it on purpose and it's punishable by the courts, then there are different possible punishments. Al shigagatam, if you do it by accident, you bring a korban chatat. And if you don't know, how would it be a case where you don't know? Okay, kagon, for example, shnei zaytim, you have two zayit quantities. Zayit is not an olive, it's a quantity. Echad shel cheled ve'echad shel shuman. One is cheled, prohibited fats, and one is shuman, permitted fats. Achal echad mehem. So you ate one of them. You had in front of you cheled and shuman. You don't know which one you ate. Or ishto v'achoto b'mita. You're sleeping in the same bed with your wife and your sister. Ba'al echad mehem. You have relations with one of them. You don't know which one it was. Not a good idea to sleep with your wife and your sister in the same bed. Okay, but for that you would bring, I hope it's a theoretical question, an asham talui. Now, korban asham talui does not bring kapara, does not atone. It only pushes off the punishment until if you find out what you did, then you'd have to bring a korban chatat. Okay, so that's zadon on purpose, and shgaga by accident a chatat. I want to point out that Bar Tanura says a really interesting question. What does it mean, shgaga? What does shgaga accidentally mean? So he says, all these cases, sheyodea be'ikar ha'isur. It must be a case where you know that there is an essential prohibition. But the actual action itself, ne'elam mimenu, was hidden from me, forgot. So for example, mechalel Shabbat, right? He knows there's Shabbat, he knows, but kasavar cholhu. But he thinks it's a weekday. Okay, but he knows avodah zarah is prohibited, and he knows you're not, zivuach v'kitur, offering sacrifices or incense is prohibited. But he doesn't think that it's prohibited to bow down. So he knows about the isur. But if you say the action is totally permitted, de'oker kol haguf, you uproot the entire guf, the body of the isur. Kagon ha'omer ein Shabbat b'Torah. A person doesn't know that there's Shabbat at all. What if a person grows up not knowing at all that he's Jewish, or not knowing, he knows he's Jewish but never heard of Shabbat? He knows the Yom Kippur, but he never heard of Shabbat as a prohibit actions. Some people, I guess, have this thing of Shabbat, but why would you not drive on Shabbat? Whoever heard of that? That's what we call the Tinok Shenishba. So the Bar Tanura says, Lo shogeghu, ela anus gamurhu. He's anus, it's like he's coerced. He's exempt from anything. He doesn't even have to bring a korban chatat. Now the Kahati says that's the opinion also of Rashi. But he says, if you look at the Rambam in Hilchot Shgagot says, even a Tinok Shenishba means a child that was captured. Like we said, someone who's raised totally secular. That's the definition of shogeg. Fascinating machloket. What level of shogeg is exempt? Okay, so we said shigam chata lo hoda asham talui. We don't know what asham talui, except for hamitame migdash v'kadashav. One of the 36 was if you're mitame the beit hamikdash, right, or you eat the tumat migdash. You're involved in tumat hamikdash and its sanctities. You eat if you're tameh. You walk in the mikdash when you're tameh. Why? B'bnei shehu ba'oleh v'yoreh. And if you violate tumat mikdash v'kadashav, you have to bring what's called the korban olev yared. Look at Wikipedia. Korban olev yared is a certain kind of korban you have to bring for 3 sins. Shvuat bitui, expressing his sinful oaths. He lied. He swore falsely. Shvuat ha'idut, he swore about testimony that he didn't know, that he knew. He said he didn't know. And tumat mikdash v'kadashav. So he brings a special korban called olev yared. Up and down. Why is it up and down? Because depending on his economics position, he has to bring a certain kind of korban. If he's rich, he brings an animal. Less rich, 2 birds. Very poor, he just has to bring a minchat solet, a flower. That's why it's called olav yareh. So, he doesn't bring an asham talui. He doesn't bring an asham talui. What Meir is saying is that everyone, all these chatat, if they did it and don't know if they did it, then they bring an asham talui, except for hametameh migdash v'karashav. Because the only time you bring an asham talui is if you would otherwise have brought a korban chatat. But if you didn't bring a korban, if you're not going to bring a chatat, if you were going to bring an olav yared, then if you made the mistake, then you don't bring an asham talui. Okay? Except for mibnei she'olav yared, ve'en asham talui ba el al davar shezedono kareh shigago chatat k'vuah. You only bring an olav yared if you were you only bring an asham talui if you were going to do shigagat chatat. But since you have an olav yared, then there's no asham talui. Okay, so that's the very Rabbi Meir. Chachamim or Chachamim say af megadef. Even the megadef, okay, since he doesn't bring Shneimar, it says Torah achat yelachem leoseh bishkaga. You should have one Torah for all of you leoseh bishkaga who does an isur bishkaga by accident. Yatsa megadef. So that excludes the megadef. The blasphemer sheino oseh maaseh was not doing a maaseh, doesn't do an action. And therefore, for that reason, similarly, says the Bartanura, similarly, he also, alohoda ein mevin asham talui. He doesn't begin asham talui. We dedicate our learning to the memory of Naomi Tzipora, Bat Shmuel, Moshe, Udvara, Leah. Make it a great day.